From the Star in Frisco, Hitsticks is back for week 4 of the NFL season. The Cowboys get another big win against a divisional rival, the New York Giants, in week 3. They turn their attention to another NFC East team, the Washington Commanders, in week 4. Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church. I'm Kyle Yeomans. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's hit it on Madden NFL 23. So as we take a deeper dive into the 23-16 win over the New York Giants, we start with the ground game. Tony Pollard and company with more success here in week 3 against the Giants defense, and they did so on the left side. Tony Pollard had a plus 50-yard reception, and this week he had a plus 45-yard run against the Giants. And let's start with this offensive line on the left-hand side. If we go and run the play here, Tony Pollard out of the backfield, Jason Peters in his first play as a Dallas Cowboys left guard walls off this huge running lane for Tony Pollard to run through, and he takes it all the way to the second level, then he takes it to the third level, makes a couple men have to hesitate, and he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. So we're going to recreate this on Madden, and how are we going to do so? We're going to highlight the left side of the offensive line. Tyler Smith alongside the brand new Jason Peters at left guard. Isaiah, this is something you've been calling for, something you've been wanting to see. How can this help the Cowboys?
It can help them tremendously because on the right side with the Mr. Zach Martin, you have 7 Pro Bowls. When you go to the left guard position now, you go ahead and you upgrade it to 9 Pro Bowls. 9 Pro Bowls, 6'5", 6'6", 340 pounds, a grown man.
Huge man.
Grown 40-year-old man. And this man is going to be able to have a huge impact on the left side of this line. Now you book in Tyler Biadasz in the middle of that formation, and you help out the young rookie, up-and-coming rookie, Tyler Smith. This is a huge, huge addition to this offensive line, and you saw the impact right there on that play. I'm going to show DC, BC, how we get busy here on the offensive line.
Let's see what you got, big dog.
We go. Ready, set, and
All right.
There.
All right.
Oh, wait. Now go.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on. Take the angle. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, in the real game, you see he got knocked out there on the, what was it, with the 15-yard line, something around there. Okay, but right here, we're going to go ahead and show you what it looks like when Tony Pollard is able to take it just a little bit farther. So we're going to go right here. We're going to zoom in on the line right here. Bam, nice little combo block right there.
Heck of a combo block.
Great job. Now you got Peters going up just like he did in the game. Wall him off. Look at the lane right there. Look at the action. That's exactly what you want to see when you're a running back. And then TP is doing TP things, as you guys can see, right out the chute. But right here is the exact look that you want to see right here with Jason Peters. If you can see his numbers just like that and there's nothing but grass in front of you, that's the look.
I mean, that's the type of thing that he presents as coming in there. I mean, this is a massive human being out there. He doesn't have to get particularly road grade people into the ground. If he just stands in the way, it forces defenders to pick a side. And whichever side they pick, Tony Pollard's going to be able to pick the opposite side for a huge gain. As we see right here, the linebacker chose the wrong way. Pollard hit him with the left cut, and he's off to the races. That's what Peters can bring to this offense. That big, just mass of human being out there clogging up the holes for everybody and making sure that these running backs have a huge run lane to create explosive plays with.
Okay, so I do have a further question on this, though, Isaiah. Whenever you're looking at Jason Peters as a left guard, of course, he's played left tackle throughout his career. How does that communication back and forth grow over time between him and, of course, Tyler Smith on the outside, but specifically on this play with Tyler Biadasz with this double team and that combo block and then able to push up to the next level?
Okay, Kyle, I'm going to give you a little bit tighter look here. What you're going to see here is on the inside. You're going to have Tyler Biadasz obviously at the center position, and you're going to have these guys on the defensive line slid over to the left side. So they are trying to get all the way over to this left side, and he has to work with Mr. Peters in order to do so. So right off the snap here, you're going to see those guys communicate, and they're going to do what you call a reach block. Peters is going to gain the left side of him, and then Tyler Biadasz is now going to take him over. That's now his responsibility as he gets his body in position, and then you see Peters work up to the next level, creating that nice little wall, and that's exactly what Pollard sees right there. Green grass, numbers to the back of the offensive lineman, and then he can hit it to the house.
Isaiah doing a great job of outlining how that ground game can get going with Jason Peters at that left guard spot. But when we come back here on Hit Sticks, we flip to the defensive side of the football. How can the Cowboys get after Washington and Carson Wentz at quarterback for the Commanders? With more Hit Sticks right after this.
Cowboys Hit Sticks, presented by EA Sports, is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. And by AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back into Hit Sticks as we now turn the page to week 4 of the NFL season and a matchup with divisional rival Washington on the docket. They come to AT&T Stadium and they bring Carson Wentz at quarterback, a familiar face for the Cowboys from his time with the Philadelphia Eagles earlier in his career. But at the same time, he's still the same old Carson Wentz. He's going to be hot. He's going to be cold. He's going to give this defense some opportunities. Barry, how do you take advantage?
You're 1,000% right, Kyle. All right, when Carson Wentz is hot, he has all the ability to carve up a defense out there. The problem is his consistency is just not there. And more than likely, he's going to be cold out there. So what we're going to do on the defensive side of the ball is we're going to take a page out of the Philadelphia Eagles playbook. Last week when they went against the Commanders, they had, I think, 7, maybe 8 sacks out there. And what they did was they rushed their front four. Their front four is the only people they needed out there, and they made the back secondary. Everybody kind of backed off and made the waters murky back there for Carson Wentz to try to throw the ball. So what we're going to do is take a page out of their book, because our front four, I believe, it might be the best in the National Football League when you talk about getting after the quarterback. You got Parsons, you got Odigizua, you got Tank Lawrence on the right side as well. So we're going to hopefully heat the guy up with just those 4 people, leave the rest of the guys in coverage, make the waters murky, and hopefully get a takeaway from Mr. Wentz.
You know what, BC, I'm going to go ahead and say you need more people, because what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to add some protection up front, because I seen what you did last week. I seen what you did last week with your front four, and I'm not going to be Victim on Jr. So I'm going to go ahead and put this right joystick real quick, hit the right stick. I'm going to go ahead and go to this LB on the pass protection. I'm going to send my protection over here to the left side, because I don't want the young lion coming over here creating some issues for me, all right?
That red X he got right there.
So here we go.
And since you're going to go ahead and do that, I'm going to go ahead and choke down on your receivers a little bit. All right, I'm going to go ahead and press coverage those guys a little bit and see if we can get this timing off between Wentz and his receivers.
All right, I'm going to try to get this ball to Scary Terry. Let me ignore him. Here we go.
What you got.
Okay. Yep, got some time. Step in the pocket. Oh, no. No, and that's one of the things that you ran in that the New York Giants ran into last week.
I mean,
you know, in terms of trying to protect, but that front four being so dominant, I'm going to have to change some things up on you.
You going to change it up on me?
I'm going to change it up on you.
Because right now, Parsons got that X under his name, and it's on fire. So I don't know who can block him. You might need 3 people, but let's see what you can do.
I might have to give a little hot route right here. Okay, we get a little hot route. So Scary Terry's on the outside, their most dominant receiver. I'm going to go ahead and change his route up a little bit.
A little audible. Okay.
Give myself some quicker options so that he's not holding the ball for as long.
Okay.
That was the game plan for the New York Giants. Didn't necessarily work out that way.
Not at all.
But let's see if it helps right here with Wentz.
Okay, let's see it.
Got the ball out of his hand. And that is what they're going to try to do to try to avoid that front four rush that you were just talking about.
Yeah, you're going to have to get the ball out of your hands quick. Let's take a look here and see what you did offensively. First time, like you mentioned, it was too far of a step back. It was like 5-step drop back there, and it gave Parsons and D-Law plenty of time to get after the quarterback. So that's what you came through with the adjustment. And you hot routed my guy over here, which is, Scary Terry McLaurin out there. And you made the adjustment quick and made him get him out of his hands quick. So we got here, you adjusted his route to a slant. He was able to get off that coverage. There was no hands on the quarterback. Carson Wentz, when he's hot, he's able to put the ball where it needs to be. And right there, that was a heck of a play call, heck of an adjustment on their side, because they knew Parsons and D-Law, they were coming.
So there you have it. It can be both ways for Carson Wentz. He can be hot, he can be cold. He's going to give you opportunities, but he's also going to take opportunities at the same time. Now the Cowboys looking to take full advantage of Michael Gallup being back in the fold. Their wide receiver potentially going to be available. We're going to make him available in Madden NFL 23 when we come back on Hit Sticks.
This segment was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
why the decision not to play him?
Well, I think we all recognize it's more than just the physical. It's there's some things that he needed to go through. I thought the padded practice was a huge day for him. He had some contested catches, had 2 vertical plays on the boundary that were Michael Gallup-esque. Was going up, on deep balls, and we just feel like he needs a little more of that. So we just didn't get quite across the finish line.
Cowboys hoping to get a weapon back in Week 4 against the Washington Commanders. The hope originally was that Michael Gallup would be back in the fold last week against the Giants, but as we move into another divisional matchup, he could add a whole new wrinkle to this offense, and Michael Gallup's going to be back in the fold hopefully this week for Dallas. Isaiah, how does he open things up for this Cowboys offense? Is it just his deep threat ability?
He has the speed as well as he has the juice. And as long as he is even an inkling of what he used to be, then we are going to be perfectly fine. Yes, we know that Michael Gallup for being able to take the top off of coverages. Yes, we know Michael Gallup for being able to win one-on-ones over the top and be that big play threat. But also look what you have when he's on the field. You have Michael Gallup. Hopefully you have a Dalton Schultz. You have Ezekiel Elliott coming out the backfield. Oh, then let's go backside. You have the #1 leading receiver for your team, Noah Brown. And then you have CeeDee Lamb as well, who just came on last week and started beasting out. So you have a lot of different options. Not only do you have to account for Gallup, but you better not lose track of everybody else.
Yeah, and like you said, this Cowboys offense has a bunch of weapons out there. So defensively, I'm getting kind of nervous a little bit. I don't want to go up there and press these guys and get, I don't want my guys to get beat like that. So I'm going to lay off a little bit, play a little coverage back there, and hopefully my defensive line can get after Cooper Rush and speed him up a little bit. But they got a lot of weapons out there offensively.
You're not going to rush me. Here we go.
Here we go. Let's see what you got. Okay.
Bam. Pace. Bow. Ooh,
Okay,
good
all
grab.
right, there you
Good
go.
grab. And I want to back this up for you guys so you guys can see it on the instant replay. It's a great job by Rush getting that thing out to Schultz. But I want you guys to see exactly what happens here when you have a but a Michael Gallup presence. I'm going to go ahead and zoom it out so that you guys can see the whole coverage. Right here, it looks like it's either a cover 2 or a cover 4, right? Pre-snap coming out, I see the 2 high safeties. I ask Cooper Rush. As soon as I see that, boom, all right, I know what I have. I'm going to go to the post-snap. You see those corners carry. All right, those corners are dropping back. They're not staying up there in their zone. That lets you know that you have quarters. Right here, you have Michael Gallup. I'm going to go ahead and go all the way over to Michael Gallup so that you guys can get a little bit up close and personal with him. Okay, Michael Gallup, right now, those guys, he's in both of their zones. In quarters coverage, that corner has that quarter of the field, and that safety has that quarter. Well, he is getting on the toes of this nearby corner, which means that you have to be responsible for me. And not only am I going to grab you while I'm running, I'm also going to grab this safety. So now I've taken 2 guys and made them my primary responsibility. And what does that allow for? Well, it allows for a Dalton Schultz right here to be able to come to his out route, right where that space is vacated, make a good contested catch, and be able to move these chains.
And I'm telling you, you called it perfectly right there, because as a safety and you're in that cover 4 zone, the hardest thing is that 87 look. And that's when that receiver, Michael Gallup, takes that deep post out there. And then you got number 2, which is Schultz in this situation, coming up vertical a little bit, but snapping out. Because exactly what you said, when Gallup is in both of those zones like that, you got to respect it. You got to respect the speed of a Michael Gallup right there coming through your zone. So that grabs both of those defenders, and it leaves Schultz wide open on the 7 look right there. And that's a heck of a play call by Kellen Moore and IRS, the OC.
When we come back with more Hit Sticks, we'll take a new look also at another wrinkle that the Cowboys have added to the fold over this last offseason. Try and add in to what Michael Gallup could do on the offensive and maybe special teams side of the football with more Hit Sticks right after this. Welcome back into Hit Sticks from the Star in Frisco. Kyle Yeoman's back with you. Now, we do have a chance to see one of the other weapons for the Dallas Cowboys. We just got done talking about Michael Gallup. How about Kavontae Turpin? He's been a weapon in terms of special teams, but what can he bring to the table offensively? Isaiah, I task you with the challenge. How do you get him the ball in space?
Well, first you need to go ahead and say, it's Turpin time. And once you say it's Turpin time, he shows up. Johnny on the spot. You seen him last week against the New York Giants. He did a great job on kick return. He did a great job on punt return, flipping the field position. People need to understand how important that is. But they don't want to just leave that to special teams. They want to find a way to get him involved on offense. And the best way to do that is go ahead and do these condensed splits and really convolute some things for the defense to try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, because if you condense those splits like that, defensively, what's going to happen is they're going to come down there with you. And that gives enough space on the outside for Turpentine to use that speed to get to the edge. But I ain't going to let it go down like that. You know, DCBC can't let it go down like that. So let's see what you got, Playboy.
Motion in the ocean for you right here. Here we go.
Play that safety position.
Oh, got the edge. Okay, gas.
Hold on, make the
no
tackle.
Breaks. Get
Come on, man. All right. Give me the ankles. Give me the ankles.
Hey, now he almost broke it just like he did against the Giants last week. Let me go ahead and go to this replay real quick so y'all can see what I'm talking about. With these condensed splits, it really confuses things, okay? You don't know if it's going to be Schultz that has an impact. You don't know if it's going to be Turpin on a fly sweep. You don't know if he's going to go deep and face your secondary or your nickel back, whoever it might be. So right here, we got him on a motion, okay? Now your linebackers are trying to figure out what's going on. Bam. Nice timing with Cooper Rush. You see Schultz doing a good job of getting the edge right there. That linebacker, again, he still has his eyes on Ezekiel Elliott. You see him right there. He has his eyes on Ezekiel Elliott, and his defensive end, the in-man in line of scrimmage, he's trying to make sure that Zeke's not getting outside him as well. So he has his eyes in the backfield. What he doesn't have his eyes on is Turpentine. And Turpentine right there with the edge. You see the little two-step like Sierra. And right there, boom, put the gas on him. Get off me.
You got to make that tackle,
You don't want those problems.
Man.
Right here,
Give me the
just like last week, he got ankle tackle, but that's okay. I think he's getting close.
Man, that was a heck of a play call because all he had to do at that edge, if we were rounded just a little bit, is make one guy miss. And we know he has the gas. Once he makes that one guy miss, he's out to the races. So here it is. Like you said, great down block by Schultz right there. That defensive, his eyes were in the wrong place at the wrong time. He gave Turpentine that extra step he needed, and it was all gas from there. I mean, he turned on the speed boosters, got to that edge, and that's what he brings. He brings that dynamic, that speed element. And like they say, speed kills, and Turpentine got a lot of it.
So Turpin does indeed have that speed, but I'm curious, Barry, on the defensive side of the football, when you're looking at all of this motion and all of this confusion behind the line of scrimmage, how tough is it to keep an eye on it? Because the Cowboys did it a couple times against the Giants in Week 3. They ran that motion, and later on it proved to be a factor. How do the Giants, how does a defender keep in touch with their own mindset and their own game plan against speed and confusion like that?
Yeah, Kyle, look, man, it's extremely difficult when an offense comes out there with motions left and right because as a defender, especially on that second level, looking at this linebacker right here, number 55, Holcomb, when you're reading your keys, you're looking at the offensive lineman right there. And most of the time, that's where the run's going to lead you. But when you have a lot of motion like that, Coach Marinelli used to tell me back in the day, you see a lot, you see a little. You see a little, you see a lot. So you have to make sure your keys are in the right place at the right time. But with that motion across, what it does is it confuses the keys of the linebacker. He starts looking all over the place. He sees the run action from Ezekiel Elliott. He doesn't know who has the ball right now because Turpentine, he went with the motion right there and they were able to hand it off to him extremely quickly. So what that happens is it confuses the linebackers. It has them a step late. And when you're a step late on a guy like Kavontae Turpin, he has all the speed in the world to make you pay right there. He was able to get over there at the last minute, but he missed a tackle and it was off the races from there. So it's extremely difficult as a linebacker to get that second level when you get that motion going on. It confuses your eyes and it gets your eyes in the wrong place, and that's why offenses are able to take advantage of a defense with those motions pre-snap.
All right, so Barry outlining it well there, but can the Cowboys have success this week against the Washington Commanders? And can Madden finally put a little bit of respect on Cooper Rush's name? We simulate how Madden thinks this week's going to go for the Cowboys when we come back with more Hit Sticks. Wrapping things up here on another edition of Hit Sticks from the Star in Frisco with Isaiah Stanback and Barry Church. I'm Kyle Yeomans. As well, we keep doing this guys versus the game over the last couple of weeks, and Madden has not done the Cowboys any favors. They picked against the Cowboys the first 3 weeks. They've got to get it right this week, right?
You would think so.
You would think so. Let's take a look at what they have to think. Cowboys early on, they score with Dalton Schultz. They go all the way down the field. They find the end zone to take an early advantage of the offensive side of the football, but Washington responds. Driving into the fourth quarter, Dotson finds the end zone, and it's a 6-point lead for the Commanders, 13-7 the score. And then the Cowboys put on the Superman cape of Mr. Cooper Rush, getting the job done, going down the field a couple times in real life. He's got a fourth down throw to Michael Gallup. He does not come down with it. It is batted away, and the Cowboys lose in this Madden simulation 13-7. Guys, Madden's got to do our guy Cooper Rush a little bit more love here, right? I mean, he's at mid-50s in the game. It's a little disrespectful, I think, at the moment. I mean, he's
2-0.
3-0 all time.
Yeah,
True.
come on.
I mean, come on now. We got to give him an opportunity. Give me your prediction for this week's game against the Commanders?
I think the Commanders don't command anything this week. Scraped up by the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, I'm right there with you. Cowboys defense gets after Carson Wentz. 7 sacks for the Cowboys defense. They get the job done.
I'm going with the Cowboys as well. I think it'll be a little closer than you guys think. I'm going 20-17, but a Cowboys victory.
You thought he was going to go against it for a second.
Oh, just a second.
All right, let's give away a question or a copy of Madden NFL 23. Toby's going to win this week's copy because he asked, and Barry, I'll start with you. What position group has not lived up to the expectations yet?
That's a tough one because this team is flying right now, but I'm going to have to go with the tight end position. I mean, I know, Schultz was that security blanket in the past. He's dealt with some injuries so far this season, so hopefully he can get back from that and elevate his game, but I'm going to have to go with the tight ends.
I'm going to go to the safety position. I think obviously with Jaron Kearse being out, Donovan Wilson having to really step his game up. He's missing some open field tackles. He's flying around, but not always flying and making the tackle. So I'd like to see that get shored up just a little bit more.
You got to be fundamentally sound from that position, especially when you're replacing a guy like Kearse, who was fundamentally sound and had 90-plus tackles a year ago. I mean, Barry Church was the last one that was able to do that, and he still hasn't been replaced on that Cowboys defense. For Barry, for Isaiah Stanback, and our entire DallasCowboys.com crew, I'm Kyle Yeomans. We'll see you next week on Hit Sticks.
Cowboys Hit Sticks, presented by EA Sports, was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.